Good evening. Welcome to Thursday Night Bhakti, where we take a 30-minute pause in our day to sink into a little devotional mantra. So tonight we're going to explore the Sanskrit alphabet. And we're going to do it backwards. And the reason we're going to do it backwards is because the alphabet goes from the vowels, through the consonants, through the combination vowel, I'm going backwards. The vowels, the combination vowels, the special vowels, the consonants, and the onto the sibilants. And so if we go in this progression, we're going from the infinite. We're going from infinite divine consciousness down into manifest consciousness, manifest creation. Because as we know, we've talked about many times before, we are an expression. We are Shakti. We are an expression of this divine consciousness. So we move from all of divinity, all of the divine, all of pure bliss consciousness, down into manifest creation. Well, we're going to take that journey backwards tonight. We're going to take the journey from creation up to this glorious Ananda consciousness, this bliss consciousness. So I want to walk you through the alphabet. You have it there as I've listed it for you. Hello, Douglas, and hi, Stephen. I hope you're, or Stefan. I always want to say that wrong. I hope you're still with us. So, moving backwards through the alphabet, we start with this sound of, oh, and by the way, we can't make a consonant sound without a vowel sound. So we're going to use the vowel of ah, ah, throughout our practice, so that when we're making this sound that looks like an H, we'll not be saying just H, we'll be saying ha. So that first letter is pronounced ha. It's one of the sibilants, one of the hissing sounds in Sanskrit. Hello, hello, Cindy, hi, Christina. So that first sound is ha. The next sound that looks like an S is pronounced sa. Sa. Say that with me. Sa. And the next sound that also looks like an S, but it has a little dot under it, that's pronounced in a special place in our mouth. It's, I'll show you how to find it with your tongue. Put your tongue on the back of your front teeth, the top back of your front teeth, and then draw your tongue back. You'll feel a little bump of tissue, and right behind that bump, you're going to feel a little indentation with your tongue. That's where we put our tongue for most of the letters that we see with a dot under them. So in this case, we're making that sound, but we're doing it with our tongue back there, so it sounds like this. Sha, sha, sha. Good. So that's different from what we did before. Sa, sa, sa. And back to what we just did. Sha, sha, sha. Good. And then we move to the next sound that looks like an S, and it's got that little sideways diacritical mark over it. That's pronounced like this. Sha, sha, like Shiva, or she, sha. So we'll sing that sha, sha, because remember we're using that ah sound with all of this. So those are our sibilants. I'm not going to get into the explanation of the. We'll go into the meaning of the consonants and the vowels, but we'll skip over this one. The semivowels are next. And so with the semivowels, that first one that looks like a V is pronounced very softly. And the way it's pronounced is that we put our upper front teeth on the inner moist area of our lower lip to make the soft va, va, va sound. It's never a hard va. It's very soft. Va, va, va. Good. The next sound that looks like an L, the next letter, is pronounced in a different placement in the mouth. So with this one, we put the tongue on the back of the front teeth, and then we just draw it back as we make the pronunciation of la, 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 la. Do that with me to practice. La. Good. And then there is a letter that looks like an R. Now, this is a semivowel, but it's also pronounced from that same place that any of the letters with the dot, or most of the letters with the dot under it, are pronounced. So in that same place where we drug the tongue back on the top of the roof of our mouth, behind the speed bump, into that little divot, and so that is pronounced ra, 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 ra. Almost like a rolled R in Spanish, but not quite. Ra. So if we put the ah sound with it, it becomes ra, ra, ra. Good. And then the next that looks like a Y is pronounced just like that. Ya, like yellow. Ya, 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 ya. Good. And then we get into the consonants. This next block of letters are our Sanskrit consonants. I want to tell you about the meaning as we go through these. So let's pronounce first. That first letter is ma, ma, ma. The next one that looks like a B and an H. So that H makes it an aspirated sound, a breathy sound. So that sounds like this. Ba, ba, ba. Our mouths are not used to making that sound, so we can get it by saying rub honey, that BH, rub honey, bah, bah. That's the sound that we get with that BH. The next letter that looks like a B is ba, ba. So it's just like the ba, but it's without the expelled breath. We say it almost kind of internal, in the inside of the mouth, like ba, 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 very without the expression of the breath. The next letter, PH, ba, ba. So that could be like rope honey, ba, ba, ba. And then the next is just that very internally produced ba, 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 ba. So the ba and the pa are very similar. Ba, ba, ba. Good. So that line of consonants, ma, is the purusha, the individual. Ba is the prakriti, the operating energy of the individual. The ba is the ahamkara. It's the ego. It's the I am the doer. The pa is the buddhi, the intelligence. And the pa is the mana, the mind. Then we move to the next line. So the next line are all of those letters will be pronounced with the tongue placement right on the back of the teeth and drawn back of the front teeth and drawn back. So that would be na, 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 na. The next one, we have that aspirated sound, that puff of air, da, 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 but the tongue is on the back of the front teeth and drawn back. Da, da, da. And then the next one, da, 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 da. Good. The next one, da, 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 da. And the next one, da, 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 da. So going through that line of consonants, the na is hearing, the ear. Da is touching, the skin. Da is seeing, the eye. Da is tasting, the tongue. And da is smelling, the nose. Now this next line is tricky because all of these, you notice, have a dot underneath them. So all of them are going to be made with that tongue in that little divot area behind, on the roof of the palate, or the roof of the mouth, on the upper palate, behind that little speed bump, right behind it where that divot is. So the first one is like this. Na, 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 na. Good. The next one, we've got that aspiration as well as placing the tongue. So it is da, 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 da. Take some practice. The next one is without the puff of air. Da, 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 da. Hey, Ayana. Da, da. And the next one is with that puff of air again. Da, 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 da. And the next one without that puff of air. Da, 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 da. Good. So that line, the na sound, is speaking, the mouth speaking. Da is grasping, hands. Da is locomotion, the feet. Da is excretion, so any of the excretory organs. And da is the procreation organs, organs of procreation. The next line, that first letter is pronounced like this. Nya, nya, nya. It's kind of like a cat meowing. Nya, 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 nya. Good. The next is ja, ja, ja. And the next, ja, ja, ja. And the next, cha, cha, cha. And the next, ja, ja, ja. Good. And the final 5 consonants, and remember we're doing this all backwards, the whole alphabet is backwards. So the next one, that N is that N-looking letter with the dot over it is pronounced like gang, gang, nan, gang, nan, 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 ganga. I was going to say ganga, na. So it's kind of like that, na. The next letter, ga. It's got that puff of air again. Ga. And the next letter, ga. The next letter, ka. And the next letter, ka. Good. So those, na is ether, the ether. Ga is the air. Ga is fire. Ka, the element of water. And ka, the element of earth. So you can see that we're going from the we're going through very the various parts of the creative manifestation of this earth and of us. The next two letters are special vowels. They're special sounds in the alphabet. So this first one, little h with a dot underneath it, it is a sound of emission or discharging or putting forth. So it's usually at the end of a word, like namah. So, or sukinaha, sukinoha. So this ha, it's just a little ha, kind of like we're almost sighing. The next word, and that's called a visarga. The next word is called the next letter is an anusvara. The anusvara is special as well. And it's the after sound, the sound of reabsorption. So that little M with a dot over it would come at the end of, for instance, the word Om or Om. We know those words from our yoga practices. And so when we make that sound, we let the tongue float to the roof of the mouth and linger on the roof of the mouth. So it's like this. Do that with me now. Tongue all the way up. And you can feel that vibratory quality of reabsorbing the sound inside and letting it vibrate in our head. And then we get to our combination vowels. So that first one is pronounced like this. Ow, ow, ow. The next one is pronounced oh, oh, oh. The next one, I. And the next one, eh. Good. So these are all kriya shaktis, action shaktis, all of these combination vowels. And now we get into the vowels. This is where we're really making our ascent into divinity here, into divine consciousness. So these first two, they're also, even though they have a dot under them, the sounds are made with the tongue on the back of the front teeth, and then it just kind of lingers and pulls up and in a little bit there. And anything with a line over it means that it has 2 counts instead of 1. So those first 2 things that look like L's, they're both pronounced the same way, but the first one has 2 counts. So it's like this. Oh, oh. The first one, oh. The second one, O. Say those two with me. O, 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 O. Good. The second one, oh, and so those sounds are joyful yet grounded sounds. The second two are a little trickier because now we're going to place our tongue on the roof of the mouth again, right behind that little speed bump. So these two sounds are the sounds of inner nectar, amrita. So the first one is this is the shorter one. So place your tongue there. Good. The next two are sounds of wisdom, knowledge. The first one, O. The second one, O. 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 Good. And the next two, the sounds of desire, the sounds of will. So these are E, 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 and then my favorite, pure conscious awareness, ecstasy, bliss. And these are Ah, 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 Ah. Good. So now you know them. You know all of these letters. Now we're going to chant them together. And again, we're chanting the Sanskrit alphabet. We're leaving out one special combination letter. We're not going to chant that, but we're going to chant all of these foundational letters backwards because we want to go from the finite to the infinite, the finite to the infinite, the earthy grounded space to this open wonderful space. All right. So I'm going to get my tambura and we will chant this together. So anytime that you feel like you want to join in with any of these sounds, you'll hear the tambura drone, both with this drone that I'm playing here, and I have a little drone in the background as well, a little electronic drone. So anytime that you feel like you want to join in with any of the letters or all of the letters or any of the sounds, please, please join me. So each of the letters of the Sanskrit alphabet is a bija mantra, a seed mantra. And each of them, each of the sounds contains the form of that seed. And so as we chant this alphabet and chanting it backwards like we did tonight, we move from manifest consciousness to supreme consciousness, manifest consciousness to, in all its creative form, all of the Shakti, all of the creative forms, of manifest creation. We move from that upward to divine consciousness, pure bliss consciousness. And so it becomes just a very sweet meditation. So thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for chanting this beautiful alphabet with me tonight. I do hope you chanted along, because when you chant these letters, which actually are syllables, each are a syllable, it just does raise the consciousness. All right, thank you so much. I will see you next Thursday for Thursday Night Bhakti. If you are joining me for Mantra 108 each morning, we've got 3 more mornings left on our Purna Mantra. And then we'll move to a brand new mantra, which I'm very excited about, because it's very relevant to the experience that we're all having right now. And tomorrow night, right here again, not right here, but on Zoom, actually a different format called 8x8 meetings, but through Fun Yoga Studio, we'll be doing a live community kirtan. So we're going to give that a try online. Fingers crossed, we'll see how that goes. And so maybe I'll see you tomorrow night here at 7 o'clock too for that. All right, that's all my commercials for tonight. Thanks for being with me, and I'll see you when I see you. Love to everybody.